of Commerce, Mr. Sunil Seth, President, Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association, Ms. Kinley, General Secretary, Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association, Ms. Kinthet Mo, members of IMCC, MWEA, friends from media, and all other viewers in India, Myanmar, and in the virtual world. A very good evening to all of you, and welcome to this first ever webinar of women entrepreneurs of India and Myanmar. I welcome you all to this conclave. Today, we are going to deliberate on the opportunities and potential for partnership between India and Myanmar women entrepreneurs. India shares a very good relationship with its neighbor, Myanmar. We have we have a lot of similarities and commonalities in between, starting from the culture and especially from where I come from and our president, Mrs. Janvi Pukan, comes from. We've had a long history of association. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, in his Act East policy, has emphasized on developing better business and cultural ties with our BIMSTEC neighbors, especially the BIMSTEC countries. When our 37th president, Mrs. Janvi Pukan, took over, she emphasized on taking this forward. And this is how her vision was, to have better ties and focus on the BIMSTEC countries. And that's how this whole webinar culminated in partnership with India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce and Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association, and with the support of the Indian Embassy in Myanmar and Dr. Seetal Kumar Palbabu. The main objectives of this webinar is to start a dialogue and discussion between the two countries, between the two women chambers of commerce in these two countries. We've had a lot of dialogues with chambers of commerce between the two countries, but this is the first time the women chambers of commerce are coming together. We want to explore opportunities and partnership. We want to also map out different sectors where we can partner, collaborate, and start initiatives. The expected outcomes, which my president will talk more in detail, is to come up with a more collaborative platform to start some initiatives, either have exchanges and delegations. So before we start, I would also like to have talk to people who are on Zoom here. Kindly mute yourself and do not move around. And I hope you enjoy this conclave, the session. FLO is the women's wing of Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, FICCI. It's an all-India forum for women and has its headquarters in New Delhi with 8,000 and more members across 17 chapters, which are spread over different regions in India. The focus of FLO, the women's wing of FICCI, is to empower women entrepreneurs and professionals. And this is done through various initiatives, from skill development to capacity development, training, seminars, so that women become a very productive and important, they play a critical role in the economic development of the country. Mrs. Janvi Pukan is the 37th president of FLO. She is an entrepreneur and staunch advocate for sustainable livelihood and business. She's the founder of 2 award-winning companies, Jungle Travels India and Assam Bengal Navigation Company. Her companies are in travel, tourism, hospitality, tea, and long-distance river cruises. Passionate about women's upliftment, Janvi's work is always closely linked to women's economic and social empowerment. She also has the unique distinction of being the first president from Northeast of India. I would now request our president, Mrs. Janvi Pukan, to give a welcome address.
Thank you. His Excellency, Mr. Saurav Kumar, Ambassador of India to Myanmar, Mr. Sunil Seth, President, India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Kinley, President, Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association, Ms. Kinthet Mo, General Secretary, MWEA, Mingala Bashin. Namaste. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all as the National President of FLO, the women's wing of FICCI, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to start the first ever dialogue between our two great countries on the opportunities and potential for partnerships between India and Myanmar women entrepreneurs. FLO is the oldest business body for women in South Asia. It is a collective voice for 8,000 women entrepreneurs, businesswomen, professionals, and the like, pan-India, and also the voice of those women whose lives we have impacted directly or indirectly over the years. As the 37th national president of FLO and the first from India's Northeast region, I am delighted to start the first of our BIMSTEC dialogues with women entrepreneurs of your country. BIMSTEC was founded in 1997 with 7 members: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Thailand, and Sri Lanka. It is home to 1.6 billion people, or nearly 22% of the world's population, and has a combined gross national product of $2.8 trillion. Myanmar and India share a long 1,643-kilometer geographical land border and maritime border. Myanmar shares its land borders with 4 states of Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, and Arunachal in India's northeast. And Assam, where I come from, is the gateway to the northeast, which links India and Myanmar and beyond. Our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, had launched the Look East policy in 1992, and India's northeast region with the 8 states finally came into prominence with their geographic importance. In 2014, the Look East policy was upgraded to the Act East policy, underlying the need for a more action-oriented policy towards India's objective of economic development of India's northeast region and to strengthen economic integration with Southeast Asia. To achieve this goal, the emphasis is now on the 3 C's: commerce, connectivity, and culture. So, as a Northeasterner, I'm especially proud to start our dialogue series with Myanmar first among our BIMSTEC countries, and on behalf of FLO, the women's wing of FICCI. I must mention here that our FLO past president, Ranjana Agarwal, led a delegation to Myanmar in 2011 and had the opportunity to meet the then Indian ambassador to Myanmar, Dr. V.S. Shishadri, and to interact with businesswomen there. Subsequently, FLO Northeast Chapter and FICCI Northeast jointly had an interactive session in 2013 with the then Indian ambassador to Myanmar, Mr. Gautam Mukhopadhyay. Our past president, Vinita Bimbet, has also been working towards strengthening business ties among women in the region as the chairperson of the India-ASEAN Business Forum since 2018. Today, with the active support of the Indian Embassy in Myanmar, the India-Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, and the Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association, FLO, the women's wing of FICCI, will explore the very pertinent subject of opportunities and potential for partnership between India and Myanmar women entrepreneurs. In this new decade of 2020s, let us forge ahead to work together for business opportunities and explore the potential for livelihood-linked and entrepreneurship-driven market forces to build a strong economic alliance for our women and create a cadre of women leaders in both our countries. As a token of our appreciation, I would like to present, on behalf of FLO, a memento to His Excellency, Mr. Kumar, Ambassador of India to Myanmar. Sir, a physical memento will be sent to your office, and I request FICCI IT to please show a virtual memento for now.
His Excellency Ambassador Saurav Kumar is an Indian Foreign Service officer of 1989 batch. Most recently, before moving to Myanmar, he was the ambassador of India to Iran. He is an engineer by training. He has BTech and MTech degrees from IIT Kanpur and IIT Delhi respectively, a father of 2 daughters. Ambassador Kumar, I invite you to give your welcome address to us.
Madam Pukan, President of FLO, Madam Kinley, President of Myanmar Women Entrepreneur Association, Madam Kintet Mo, Secretary General of Myanmar Women Entrepreneur Association, and Dr. Sunil Seth, and all the participants who are here in this Zoom event. First of all, let me say that it gives me immense pleasure that the ladies, entrepreneurs of India and Myanmar are having this engagement. I was not aware of the 2011 and 2013 interactions, but I do hope that the gap which crept in from then till now will not creep in again. Myanmar is a country which is very close to us. I noticed that before I came here, I was going over the business interests of some of you. And of course, apart from engineering and other things, trade and tourism was also one of the business interests. I think the president herself is interested in this area. That being the case, let's hope that once this COVID issue is out of the way, we would have more and more people traveling between our two countries. I think that is how we got to know each other. Cultural exchanges and cultural contacts between our two countries are at the very base and core of our relationship. And these contacts are not new. It would be wrong to say that they are historical. They are, in fact, civilizational contacts. If I may say so, you just have to travel to some of the beautiful sites in this country. For example, if you go to Bagan and see the pagodas and the temples out there, you would see elements of cultural contacts between our two countries. A visit to the National Museum in Naypyidaw or in Yangon, again, bears that point. So the friendly and cordial relationship, which is based on cultural and historical contacts, provides the basis for the relationship. As the speakers before me mentioned, Myanmar and India are part of BIMSTEC. Myanmar is a country where two of our major foreign policy initiatives, which is the Act East policy and Neighborhood First, both these initiatives converge. This is the only country which comes under both the ambits of these foreign policy initiatives. So we have a good policy structure which is in place in terms of these two policies and more in BIMSTEC framework. Thirdly, what I would like to say is that what the president of Myanmar told me when I met him after presenting my credentials, he said that high-level contacts between India and Myanmar in recent years have boosted the relationship, have contributed a lot to the development of the bilateral relationship. And it should be the effort of both the countries to see that the momentum of these exchanges are maintained. And I was extremely happy that President of Myanmar, at a very short notice, attended the swearing-in ceremony of the new government in India last year. And again, he paid a full-fledged bilateral visit, and he was there in February, where we had the visit provided the opportunity to have good exchange of views and to see how to take the relationship ahead. Next point is about connectivity. I think if you, somebody mentioned about the 3 C's, connectivity, commerce, culture, we have community also, the 4th C. So a lot of initiatives have been taken in connectivity area. We have the Trilateral Asian Highway. Work is going on, should be completed shortly. Kaladan Multimodal Project. In August or September 2018, 2 land border crossing points were designated at Tamu More and Rizo Qatar, connecting the northeast of India with Myanmar. We are in the process of negotiating a motor vehicles agreement, which once the infrastructure is in place would permit movement of vehicles between the two countries. Air India was the only airlines flying to Myanmar till recently. Indigo started some time back. So as far as air connectivity is concerned, we are better off than what it was in the past, though a lot remains to be done. So with these things in place and being put in place, I think what remains to be done, or more accurately, an area where we need to focus on more, is greater business interaction and trade and travel between our two countries. And here again, I said that more needs to be done because in the last 2 or 3 years, significant steps have been taken. We have around 30 to 40 Indian companies represented out here. 14 to 15 public sector companies, big players in banking, insurance, hydrocarbons, thermal energy. All these guys are now out here. And but nevertheless, I think if you look at the trade figures, the number of, the tourist exchanges, the number of investments which India has in Myanmar, these are not very flattering. We fall way off compared to countries like not only China, but even, Thailand, Singapore, Japan. And a lot needs to be done to bridge this gap. And I think the more people travel from here to India and from India to Myanmar, the greater would be the chances of exploiting the business potential which remains to be exploited. I think India is a big country. Myanmar is an emerging economy, frontier economy as they call themselves. And I think there is tremendous potential for us to do more. I'm extremely happy that Myanmar Women's Entrepreneur Association is here with us today. I remember in the past, we had an opportunity to interact with them when a few academics from the Calcutta University had come here, and they were looking at the women empowerment in Myanmar. And that was a time this body came ahead and offered us good advice and good insight into how things are here. But I'm very happy that they are here to engage with FLO. Sunil Seth is here with us. I think he and India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce have been doing an excellent and outstanding job in terms of providing a platform so that companies which are doing business between India and Myanmar can become a member and benefit from the knowledge which the chamber has accumulated over the years. Sunil, of course, would let you all know more about this country. He has tremendous experience out here. But I would end with these words. And I do hope that all the ladies who are participating in this webinar would develop contacts with each other and would take this very positive initiative further ahead. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for the presentation, Ms. Pukan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I'm sure we'll all take this forward. I would now request Mr. Sunil Seth, Adani International, and the President of India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce to speak. With more than 35 years of leadership experience in India's Tata Group and currently with Adani, Mr. Seth has wide India and international experience in steel, power, infrastructure development, and ports. He is an expert in sales, marketing, international trading, and setting up of new business in emerging markets. Mr. Seth is a mechanical engineer and an MBA. And he is the president of India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, and he's helped us tremendously to organize this webinar. Mr. Seth, our special guest today, please speak to us.
Thank you, Adri, for the introduction. His Excellency Ambassador Saurabh Kumar, Madam Janvi Pukan, our Dr. Khin Thet Mo and Dr. Khin Le from MWEA, all members of FICCI FLO, lady entrepreneurs who are attending the seminar in India, members of IMCC and the media. Thank you very much. I'm really delighted to be here present today, talking to FICCI FLO. I think I must thank my friend Dr. Seetal and Gayatri for arranging this very good interaction. And I hope, as Ambassador Kumar mentioned, something concrete comes out of this very nice interaction that we are planning today. Before we start, I thought I'll just give you a small brief on IMCC. This chamber was started just 2 years back, and Ambassador Kumar is the patron of the chamber, and we get a lot of support, and we work very closely with the commercial wing of the embassy. So for those of you who still feel that, you know, Myanmar is a mystery, land of mystery, and a lot of things are opaque here, I can assure you that as part of the chamber, we have an executive board, and I'm very happy to say that we also have a few ladies who are on the board. And now with this seminar, the first thing I'm going to do is see how we get more ladies on board to come on our chamber. And so there are a lot of experienced ExCom members that we have on our IMCC board with varied experiences in different sectors. So you will get all the support. And most importantly, I think we have about 119 members, a good blend of Myanmar companies and Indian companies. And as Ambassador was mentioning, all the PSUs, about 7-8 of them, Fortune 500 companies are already present in Myanmar and all part of our chamber. And the most important thing is we can help you connect with the right people in Myanmar and I think that's very, very important to get to have the right partners. And I think that's a key role the chamber would help the FICCI FLO team. Myanmar, just for your information, is a $77 billion economy. So, you know, compared to our 2.3 trillion Indian economy, we are still very small. But there was a report which was done by McKinsey about 5 years back, which predicts that this economy would grow to at least 200 to 250 billion in the next 4 to 5 years. So I think that's what is really exciting about this resource-rich country. A lot of speakers are there today, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of sectoral inputs. But I just wanted to give you an overall sense that this is an economy which in the last 7-8 years has been growing upwards of 6%. So even though the base is still, $70-75 billion, it's a very exciting economy. Not too many people present here. It's a tough place. It's a frontier economy. But I think once you step in here, establish a presence, and have the right contacts, the possibility of growing business is tremendous. And I, for one, have been here for about 8 years, having worked for India's largest private conglomerate, the Tatas, and now with Adani. And I can tell you, it's a superly exciting place to work. People are very, very good, very friendly, and you would really find both the chamber, and I'm now very happy that we also have the Myanmar Women's Entrepreneurs Association hooked up with us. So you have a stronger support base here. So please reach out to us, and I'm sure we'll be able to work things out for you. I just wanted to also tell you that the state councillor herself, Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, studied in India. I'm sure a lot of you know she's an alumni of Lady Shri Ram College, LSR Delhi. And I'm sure she'll be really excited to see women entrepreneurs both in India and Myanmar connecting with each other. She's very passionate, as you know, about upliftment of women, bringing them out of the poverty line, and also education. So I think there are huge areas where India, with its expertise in technology, in soft skills, in IT, and medical tourism and hospitality, can do a lot here. It also brings me to the point that something like SEWA, the Self-Employed Women's Association, which has done a tremendous job in India, we could bring that, replicate something like that in Myanmar, both the women entrepreneurs working together to see how you bring more and more rural women who are working today in Myanmar to bring them out and urbanize, help urbanize and grow this economy. So overall, I think I would not take more time. I really am looking forward to listening to all of you. And once again, I would reiterate that please reach out to IMCC. We have a full-fledged manager there working for you, and rest assured that we'll try and do our best to part with at least basic information for you in whichever sector which is of interest to you, and also more importantly, to try and put you in touch with the right partners. So thank you very much, and look forward to hearing all of you. Namaskar and Minglaba.
Thank you so much, Mr. Seth. We'll definitely trouble you more. Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association was established in 1995. It's a non-profit, non-governmental, non-political, and non-religious association. MWEA is one of the pioneer organizations of feminist activists in Myanmar. MWEA has over 1,700 registered members, open to all 8 regions and 7 states. Its aim is to unite and bring into focus and world attention the role and capabilities of Myanmar women entrepreneurs. It organizes the energies and enterprise of Myanmar women into a sisterhood with awareness, national and international vision, and mission of social and self-development. Its membership is voluntary and includes women entrepreneurs and economically active women, professionals, and managers. It's self-financed through subscriptions and fund contributions. It's very similar to our organization's FLO. Our next speaker is the General Secretary of Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association, Ms. Kin Thet Mo. She's the Managing Director of CAPS Engineering. She's the Managing Director of Royal Aqua Myanmar and President of SVS Microfinance Institution. She's also the Executive Director of Social Vision Services Association, Secretary General, Executive Committee member of Republic of Union of Myanmar Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Ms. Kin Thet Mo, I would request you to speak to us on the status of women entrepreneurs in Myanmar.
Thank you, Ms. Dorothy. Thank you so much about our MWEA. You expressed a lot, and I don't know what I have to say. First of all, I really thanks to His Excellency, Mr. Sonara, the Ambassador of India to Myanmar, who really encouraged to happen this event. And also the organizer from the FLO, and Mr. Sita Kumar. He is really aggressive to pull two strings between two countries. Well, to the really busy ladies, he can kind of connect between us. And Mr. Sunit Sir, the president of the IMCC, he really supported for this event. First of all, I would like to express about our MWEA a little bit for the participants. Our MWEA was established in 1995. This is almost 25 years silver jubilee for this year. Actually, we plan to we plan to celebrate our Silver Jubilee as the big event this year, but because of the COVID-19, we cannot do this event, and we have to postpone it. And for our members, up to now is over 2,500 already in the whole country. We plan to extend our branch of the association in other state and region within this year. We formed the 40 executive board members to lead this MWEA, and those the 40 executive board members are connected with them. Supervised with our members to implement a lot of activities related for the women in economic empowerment. As our theme, the power to empower, it is really fit with our association, because of our associations organize all of the women from the business sector, but we are volunteer to promote the school girls in education, and we try to support for the social support to develop their living standard, and also we support for the economic empowerment by training, mentoring, coaching, and also by the financial assistance to the women in rural area. Because of according to our population, over 75% of the population are from the rural area. And also the women population is 52% in our country. So if we can promote the women in economy, that means we can empower and we can promote our economy in our country. As you know, women are finance holder in our each household. If they can promote, they can develop their business. This also can develop their family, household, and also their community. Because of this purpose, we try to promote the women in economy at our rural area. And also, our MWEA is one of the focus association for the ASEAN Women Entrepreneur Network since 2015. That's why now we already have the strong collaboration among the ASEAN countries as the Women Association. But now we have the chance to collaborate with the Women Association, ladies organization from India, for the business networking. It is a really good opportunity for our not only for our members, but also for the two countries by the support of like the embassy and also from the Chamber of Commerce from India. And also, I believe from our UMFCCI, and also well happy to see if we can have the collaboration in future as for the partnership. I hope from this today event, we may have some business collaboration among our members to develop our two countries' GDP. Not only for the business, but also for the social development. Our MWEA is one of the steering committee member for the Myanmar National Women Committee, which was formed by the 26 ministries plus 11 women organizations in Myanmar. Among them, MWEA is only one business women association in those 11 organizations. That's why at the MNCW, Myanmar National Women Committee, MWEA is always participate, not only for the business, but also for the social development for women. I hope from our objectives and activities, you already got from our information. So aligned with those information, we try to promote not only for the business women, but also for the school girls, by supporting for their education. We hope today's school girl is for the future business women. If they have the very strong basement since they are the young life, they will be one of the leader in the very near future. Because of that, our association have the two types of member. One is who want to start up the business. They haven't started yet, but they want to be, so they can be their member. Another one type of membership is the professional. Those professionals can support and can assist to our women in business in our association. And another one is the businesswoman. That's why we always create the opportunity for business partnership and business networking among the ASEAN, among the Asia, and also the international. We also collaborate with development partners in our country to give the opportunity in education and business for our members. As for the young members in our association, they also got the opportunity for education, like the scholarship program. We collaborate with Japan Embassy and also the US Embassy, UK Embassy, for our scholarship program among our members. That's why we always proud that MWEA was the foundation for the women, since from the young schoolgirl up to the businesswoman. So from this event, I hope we have at least one collaboration, not only in business, but also in education. We may have after the COVID, we may have the exchange program between the two countries. Thanks to all the organizer and ambassador, wishing you all safe from the COVID-19. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Kintetmo. That was really good, and we definitely look forward to working with you closely. When our president, Mrs. Janvi Pukan, discussed to having webinars, to having interactions and collaborations with our neighbors, she was very clear in her guidelines. She said, I do not want one-off events, and I want some actionable outcomes. So it was a big take for us that we have to organize something that's not just a webinar and we forget about it. And like His Excellency Ambassador Kumar also said, that we should carry forward from here. So I would like to request our President Flo to give her opinions and her statements on this.
Thank you very much to all the speakers, Kim Ketmore, Mr. Fate, Your Excellency. We are talking under the prospects of partnership and collaboration. When women do better, economies do better. That's what Christine Lagarde had said, the economist who needs no introduction. Both India and Myanmar have worked towards accelerating women's participation in the economy. We are trying at different levels. They are encouraging professional excellence. They're trying to help promote entrepreneurship for livelihood creation and livelihood generation. So, ladies and gentlemen, our role, both our countries, as women's business chambers, are growing in significance, and we must not fail. As the outcome of our talks today, I would propose that FLO join hands with our partners, IMCC and MWEA, to form a collaborative network as the India Myanmar Women's Network. This network can be a first step towards a B2B marketplace, perhaps a virtual one to start with in these pandemic times, and also hope to establish closer links with our respective embassies, to form alliances with other business chambers in our respective countries, and to work towards sustaining a mutually beneficial entrepreneurship development platform. The possibilities are endless. You've spoken about the women in the rural workplaces. That's very close to our heart. I did not mention it in this context, but end of the day, the economy will have to start bottom up. Both are in the larger scale. Both our countries are enhancing cooperation in agriculture, telecommunications, information technology, steel, oil, natural gas, hydrocarbons, and food processing. India is also providing assistance in setting up institutions for higher learning and research. The Myanmar Institute of Information Technology, the Advanced Center for Agricultural Research and Education, the Myanmar-India Center for Enhancement of IT Skills, and the India-Myanmar Industrial Training Centers, to name a few. In our level, as a women's chamber, since we have taken office, we are working towards adopting villages in our 17 chapters pan-India. We are reaching out to our women, to our chapters, to adopt some villages and work on the ground. In the urban sector, we are aiming to adopt the ITIs, which are mentioned here. So the industrial training institutes, we are trying to handhold and work with implementing partners throughout the country to see that we can offer life skill support to our underprivileged in the villages and in the urban areas, especially in these COVID times when you have the migrant workers returning home. So there's going to be a paradigm shift and a new way of looking at how we did business and how we did work before. So these are unprecedented times, and we are all fighting the unseen enemy of COVID-19. So sustainability has taken center stage now, and that only will create the livelihood linked and the entrepreneurship driven enterprises by women for women. So women must seek to be job creators and no longer job seekers. Yesterday, our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, spoke of sustainability as the way forward for a self-reliant India, and that people, planet, and profits can certainly exist together. So keeping in mind his vision, we want to take forward Mr. Modi's initiative for the 3 Cs for Myanmar: commerce, communication, and culture. And as the national president of FLO, and on behalf of the 8,000 members across the country, we look forward to working together on all these fronts, along with the Indian Embassy in Myanmar, the India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, and the Myanmar Women's Entrepreneurship Association. Thank you. Namaste.
Thanks, Janvi. We have with us today women entrepreneurs from India and Myanmar who represent different sectors. They'll be accentuating the scope of business collaborations in these sectors. We would like to start with Mrs. Usha Rani Mane, Chairperson of FLO Hyderabad. Usha Rani is currently the new Chairperson of FLO Hyderabad. She holds a diploma in electronics engineering and has an MBA. She went on to establish Pharmaceutical Instruments Limited, a company specializing in measuring and control in instrumentation and automation solutions for life sciences industry. Usha was honored as Outstanding Woman Entrepreneur of the Year 2006 and 7 by Federation of Andhra Pradesh Chamber of Commerce. Usha, I would request you to speak about the manufacturing sector.
His Excellency, Mr. Saurabh Kumar, Ambassador of India to Myanmar, special guest, Mr. Sunil Seth, President of India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Kin Tet Ma, General Secretary MWEA, our National President FLO, Mrs. Janvi Pukan, our Day Chairperson, Mrs. Dhanitri Patnaik, FLO Bhubaneswar, Presidium, GB members, and my dear fellow FLO members. Namaste. When the world needed hydroxychloroquine and other essential medicines to face COVID, one name stood out and stood up. That is India. Our sacred texts proclaim Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the entire world is one family. And it is this philosophy that teaches us to open our hearts, open our arms to embrace and heal. Our position as the pharmacy of the world is because of the exhaustive range and volume of medicines we produce, the highly competitive prices we offer, and our strong innovation capabilities. In terms of the capacity to produce generic medicines, Indian pharmaceutical firms are the largest in Asia. What makes the Indian pharma sector unique is the domination of branded generics, which make up for nearly 80% of our retail market. Unlike in other countries, our local players enjoy a very good position, thanks to our robust formulation development capabilities and early stage investments. And of course, our price levels are considerably lower. While India ranks 10th globally in terms of value, it is ranked 3rd in volumes. While the Make in India program galvanized the Indian manufacturing sector, the central government's recent Atmanirbhar Abhiyan package is revamping and reinforcing a strong industrial and manufacturing sector for India's long-term growth in a post-COVID world. The new pharmaceutical policy under this package urges Indian companies to develop raw material production capacities in India. 53 drugs have been identified under this policy, where the central government will provide special incentives to set up new greenfield ventures. 2 mega industrial parks focused on pharmaceuticals are also on the anvil. The government has also announced a rupees 7,000 crore incentive package for domestic production of key starting materials and APIs, and a rupees 3,000 crore incentive to set up common infrastructure facilities in bulk drug parks. This will allow pharmaceutical companies to optimize resources and achieve economies of scale. The government has allotted rupees 3,420 crores to incentivize medical device manufacturing, and the Indian medical devices market is expected to grow to rupees 86,000 crores by 2021 and 22. The individual state governments also have their own special exemptions and incentives. The Telangana state government has a single window licensing policy, whereby investors are offered extensive facilities, including guidance in procuring lands and other amenities. With all these and much more being done to encourage Make in India, the Indian pharmaceutical market is expected to grow to USD $70 billion by 2025, driven by a steady increase in affordability and a steep jump in market access. The pandemic we are all experiencing has doled out hardship and strife across borders, but with its inherent capability to rise to the occasion, the Indian pharma sector has even a greater opportunity to discover, develop, and deliver. Why does India make for a great manufacturing or trade partner? You may ask. Yes, I have the question. I have the answers. 1. Our experience and expertise. We have 262 US FDA compliant plants. That's next to USA. We have nearly 1,500 WHO GMP approved pharma plants and 253 European Directorate of Quality Medicines approved plants. Number 2, our low cost of manufacture. A number of economic factors such as competitive land rates, cheap labor, low input resources, cost of electricity, water, etc., and lower cost of production machinery ensure that we stay competitive in the international market. Number 3, our investments in R&D. Indian companies are investing heavily in creating their own R&D centers and are offering early stage discovery services as well as promising molecules. A large scientific pool is dedicated to research and development of patent non-infringing methodologies for drugs. Our science parks and buzzing incubation ecosystems are encouraging brilliant startups. We are now increasingly being recognized as strategic partner in the drug discovery value chain. Number 4, our human capital. Pharmaceuticals is a knowledge-led industry. The scientific talent pool of Indians is the second largest English-speaking group worldwide, enabling easier access to qualifications that handle the basic work in a plant or an R&D setup. The National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research is another premier institute in the fields of pharmaceuticals. Number 5, our international servicing experience. Many Indian pharmaceutical companies are servicing top multinational companies for their highly regulated markets, meeting their stringent quality expectations. The same experience enables Indian organizations to cater to the needs of the regulatory authorities of most nations across the world. As the founder director of a 25-year-old automation and instrumentation company in Hyderabad, the bulk drug capital of India, I have had the opportunity of working very closely with the entire life sciences industry. I have witnessed the pharmaceutical sector bloom and blossom into one that the world prefers to work with. And I have just touched upon some of the many aspects that makes India a suitable pharmaceutical development and trade partner for a forward-looking nation like Myanmar. I do hope with our bilateral trade levels improving, the two countries will find many avenues to collaborate in. Thank you.
Thank you, Usha. And now I would request Dr. Aarti Gupta. Dr. Gupta holds a doctorate in economics from IIT Kanpur, a postgraduate diploma in business studies from Harvard University, and a master's degree in economics from Northeastern University. She directs the management and execution of the family's value-aligned investment strategy. Named amongst the 22 top women investors in the country, she looks for companies with smart and transformative solutions to problems that exist on a larger scale. In addition to her role with FLO, she serves on the board of Harvard Global Women Empowerment and IIT Kanpur's Invent Cell. Dr. Aarti Gupta is the chairperson of FLO Kanpur. Aarti.
Thank you, Dharitri, for the gracious introduction. A very good evening, everyone. Respected His Excellency, Mr. Saurabh Kumar, Indian Ambassador to Myanmar, Madam Kin Lei, President of MWEA, Madam Kin Thet Mo, Secretary of MWEA, Mr. Sunil Seth, President, Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, FICCI FLO National President, Ms. Janvi Pukan, Senior Vice President, Mrs. Ujjwala Singhania, esteemed guests from MWEA and FLO. It was extremely enlightening to hear from the speakers till now the different ways the two neighboring countries of India and Myanmar can partner and grow together. I would like to bring in the perspective of how startups can add to the economic boost of this partnership. When it comes to startups, a general perception is that it needs to be in a developed country where all the resources are available. However, I feel it's the opposite that holds true. It is countries with the greatest needs that present the biggest opportunities, as these countries offer untapped problems which startups can not only take advantage of by making a profit, but also create impact. India is proof of how startups may be small, but they create ripples in the economy that change people's way of living. Unicorns like Ola, Oyo, Flipkart show how they played a significant role in the economic growth by creating more jobs and contributing to the economic dynamism by spurring innovation and injecting competition. The Indian startup ecosystem has evolved dynamically over the last 2 decades. As of June 2020, the Indian Ministry of Industry and Commerce had recognized 32,747 startups in India. In the year 2019 alone, almost $12 billion was invested in startups in India. India today ranks number 3 in the global startup ecosystem, making it the poster child of emerging economies for its vast commercial potential for startups. However, with the current slowdown in the economy, it is imperative for the Indian startups to not only focus on the local markets, but also find innovative solutions that are globally used by many markets simultaneously. Before I go any further, let us briefly understand the startup ecosystem of Myanmar. According to Attraction, as of 2019, there were 189 official startups in Myanmar. Majority of them include tourism-related startups like Oway, Fly Maya, and more. Other potentially promising startups include Panacea Soft, Shui Property. Looking at the economies of both countries, I feel the following sectors can be potentially explored. First, renewable energy, including solar and wind technologies. There is a vast population of Myanmar that needs to be connected with electricity. India, having experienced a similar situation, has explored the role of solar energy in solving this problem. Some promising startups in the solar energy space, like Elfro Sun Technologies, InnoSolar, etc., have scaled up and shown the potential of renewable energy. In addition to this, windstream technology-based startups would also be beneficial. Hybrid of wind and solar systems will work well in a tropical country like Myanmar with heavy rains and wind speeds. Both the countries are already working on this. In the recent meeting, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Myanmar President signed 10 agreements, one of which included distribution of electricity by solar power. Another industry where India can partner with Myanmar in the startup space is the health tech startups. India has a number of successful healthcare startups in this space. Companies like NetMeds, which is an online pharmacy, Impact Guru, a tech for good, platform that provides complete crowdfunding solutions, 3H Care, an online marketplace for healthcare services, Practo, Pluspin, the list goes on. If this pandemic has taught us anything, it is that education is no longer a real estate play and location is not a hurdle for anyone to receive world-class education. The education system in India has undergone a paradigm shift with many edtech startups leveraging the situation to their benefit. This, I feel, is another area where India and Myanmar could together make long-term impact. Companies like Byju's, Unacademy, Coursera, which were mere small startups a few years back, have emerged as strong players during this COVID-19 situation. Another area of opportunity is fintech. Myanmar is ready for mass adoption of digital payments as it has a connected population and high smartphone penetration similar to India. Fintech startups in India like Paytm, PhonePe, Lending Card have seen a boost in their top lines during this lockdown, which demanded a shift towards a cashless economy. The list can go on. I, on behalf of our Chamber of Commerce FICCI FLO, would be happy in any way possible to foster and take this opportunity further. Whether prospective women investors from Myanmar would like to invest into Indian startups or invite Indian startups to explore partnership with Myanmar, let us all play our role in nurturing the entrepreneurship ecosystem wherever we live and make our contribution in building towards a prosperous society. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Gupta. Our next speaker from India is Seema Singh. Seema runs Share Experiences, a boutique travel and event studio that curates and co-creates meaningful travel, celebration, and learning experiences and memories. Since 2006, she has traveled to nearly 50 countries with individual travelers and groups with an experiential focus. She is one of the representatives of National Geographic Expeditions International in India. She is a FLO member from Bangalore. Seema.
Good afternoon to the panel. His Excellency Saurabh Kumar, the President of Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Sunil Seth, President Janvi Pukan from FLO, and Day Chair Dharati Patnaik. Thank you for this opportunity. And Ms. McKinley from Myanmar. I am here to talk about tourism, which is a part of magic. I believe it brings magic, and we've missed that magic in the past 3 months because of the pandemic. But I really believe that Myanmar is beautiful, and so is India. And in our rush to reach everywhere, we've forgotten India, and I think it's time to resurrect this phoenix that is India. As a traveler within India and creating experiences in India, I want to put forward 3 aspects of tourism that can be looked into for India, which is most importantly, cultural tourism, spiritual tourism, and medical tourism, which we all know we do very well. In the olden days, India used to be called the Golden Peacock. And I think it's time we put that back into the map. I don't know if many of you know, but in 2013, a company actually took on the large task of doing a road trip from Imphal, which is in Northeast, right up to Yangon, and a pretty successful road trip, they say. And I don't see any reason why we should not get into unusual and off the beaten track travel, yet keeping the focus on travel to bring calm, happiness, spirituality, and love back in our lives. Yes, travel will take 1 or 2 months to come back, but like they say, when it does, there is a word that is going to happen, which is called revenge travel. And revenge travel between 2 countries that share such a large border of up to 16,000 kilometers is only the best bet I see for the next calendar year and many more. The Northeast, as Mrs. Pukan would say, is a beautiful pearl that we must all discover. And I would love to help Myanmar bring people from Myanmar back into the Northeast, discover various cultural aspects of Myanmar, which would be the Sangar festival in Manipur, the beautiful Hornbill festival, where all the tribes showcase their various aspects of culture. we would love to go to Odisha and see the beautiful Konark Sun Temple, which Dharitri, of course, would be able to tell us more on, and of course, me, and the new Puri Beach Festival, known to be one of the best beaches in the world with its white sands. Coming right down, please, we should not forget that we have the largest royalty in our country, going from Rajasthan right down to Karnataka. Some of the royal palaces boast of the best boutique accommodation you can ever see in the world. And I think India would be only apt to do a full discovery of heritage travel. Also, we also bring in one of the largest Sufi festivals in the world in Jodhpur and Nagaur itself. And I think Myanmar would love to have artists come and join even the Rajasthan International Fusion Festival, where they actually bring in musicians from all over the world to play with Rajasthani musicians. So I see a big cultural barter going on between two parts of the world that have so much to be discovered. Over and above that, spiritual India is vast and unexplored and can really overwhelm you over the next 50 years or more. Things like Dev Diwali, which is in Varanasi, where the whole of the Varanasi Ghats, 84 of them, get filled up with lights. I'm sure every one of us would want to experience that magic. And I urge everyone to work towards making India and Myanmar two hot tourism hotspots with the oldest history that we can think of. If Myanmar can talk about gold and rubies, India can bring it in our lives with the magic of travel. I would love to empower artisans across both sides, known to be world over for various things as simple as Kachi embroidery to the weavers of Majuli, and Myanmar also known for its rubies. I think one day we would love to have an inter-country exchange where we could showcase all these lovely products. And as women entrepreneurs, since we love everything beautiful, I think it's only fair that women entrepreneurs from both sides of the world should work on doing this and bringing this marriage together. I would like to leave you last with my favorite words of my Bangalore chapter FICCI FLO chairperson, Jyotika Kalra. Let's all strive towards making women entrepreneurs across the two countries move from ordinary to extraordinary and use this downtime to create and enrich their lives and make them feel stronger, because like Oprah Winfrey says, you must face failure. Failure picks you up, but it allows you to fall on the ground and gives you time to pray. Let's pray and let's create this magic back and travel between two countries that are dying to grow and become one of the best in the world.
Thank you so much, Seema. Thank you very much. And now we have our partner organization speakers lined up from MWEA. The first one is Cindy Chorken. She's the Group CEO of MCC Group. That's one of the largest ICT companies in Myanmar. And she's very passionate about women empowerment and entrepreneurship development. She has an MBA from Tokyo University, Japan. Cindy, I request to come and speak to us on ICT. Please unmute her, IT.
Yeah, unmuted.
We are unable to hear you. No, Cindy, I think you should. We can't hear you, Cindy. I think you need to increase the volume of your system. Can we move on to our next speaker while Cindy tries to find out and resolve her issue? We have May Nyo, who's the managing owner of New Dana Co Limited. She has worked with Ministry of Hotel and Tourism, and she's a share owner of Myanmar Style Souvenirs shop in Mandalay. She has won many awards: Outstanding Women 2017 Award, Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association Outstanding Women Award for 2017, Union of Myanmar Women's Affairs Federation AWAN Asian Women Entrepreneurs Network Award 2017. May Nyo is going to speak to us about tourism.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please carry on.
Okay, fine. His Excellency and ladies and gentlemen, namaste. Very good evening. Auspicious to you all and Mingalaba. Well, I'm running a tour and transportation company since 2007. Before I was in Ministry of Hotel and Tourism. I'm very glad to take with this opportunity with India this events because of my company. It's sending our Myanmar pilgrimage tour and niche market to Jaipur and Kashmir, especially pilgrimage tour to Bodh Gaya. I myself explore Jaipur just 2 weeks before the India lockdown. And my group, luckily my group was came back to Myanmar just before the 1 week before the India lockdown. Our company is inbound. Our company is doing inbound and outbound and providing transportation services to local and FDI companies in Yangon and Mandalay. As a tourist section, India is one of our outbound market in our company. So using this precious meeting, I'd like to share Myanmar tourism industry updated information to you all. Well, according to the Ministry of Hotel and Tourism news in this week, the international tourist arrival in Myanmar in 2019, we received the Myanmar received the 4.36 million international tourist arrival. Well, compared to the regional, I mean CLM neighboring country such as Thai and Laos and CLMV, our international tourist arrival is not as huge as our neighboring countries such as Thailand or Vietnam. But the figure is improved. And 2020 of this year, January 2020, the Myanmar received the 400,000 international arrival. But in April, this 2020 April, the Myanmar received the international arrival less than 100, just 100. So under the guideline of UNWTO, World Tourism Organization, and PATA, Pacific Asia Travel Association, our ministry also make 3 main strategic plans. That 3 main strategic plan would be tourism, Myanmar Ministry of Tourism, strategic roadmap will be roadmap, and a stakeholder will have to implement it. That they are survival period and reopening and relaunching, and those each 3 plan has 4 implementing steps. So survival periods, ministry took prompt actions, which was like 1 year exemptions for the license fees, such as tour guide license fees and our company registration extension license fees, like membership license fees, So our ministry took that action and 1 year exemption and the 3 months tax defer. And our rental fee also defer and discounts, which mean rental fee mean some of the properties and some of the private company running by the building and the land, they are owned by the Ministry of Hotel and Tourism. So for those parties that they made Ministry of Hotel and Tourism, they provide that payment defer and discounts for some periods. And then for the second, it's like a reopening for the June, July, August. Our targeted for the reopening will be on June, July, August. But very beginning of this month, the highway buses and the airline are operating partially. But for that, we have to provide the safety awareness, and that the prices should be all inclusive, such as like in tourist, especially in tourist sites, like trishaw person and street food vendors, and we have to make them awareness first, and then after that, we will like our stakeholders as well. We encourage for our domestic tourism first, then get the practice of that safety SOP, and when we are that the local are used to be and accustomed be with that safety reason, then we will collaborate with the regional, then we will welcome the international tourists. That's for the reopening. For the relaunching, the e-commerce platform, digital platform will be urgently needed. As you mentioned as before, here in Myanmar, the platform, it's not widely, we have it, like Oway, Flymia. We can count. It's countable figures still we don't have much those kind of platform, e-commerce platform and digital platform. We don't have much yet. Those sector we have to be prepare. So those three, survival period, reopening and relaunching period, that is the main tourism strategic roadmap. But from now on, the point I would like to emphasize, our government provide after while we are facing the COVID. So our government provide the soft loan program to the SME. As the tourism sector, we are recognized as a SME sectors. So our government provide the COVID relief soft loan plan. Not only SMEs, it's include the government and other sectors as well. The interest rate they provide are very attractive, 1% and 1 year plan. There are criteria, yes, and that criteria are acceptable, and we really appreciate it. But the issue is the soft loan. That soft loan amount the tourism sector and tour company receive is quite a few amount figure, very few figure. It's a very difficult to face. We are facing now that one of the main issue, we have experienced the lack of the skill employee skill HR in tourism sector and tourism industry. Before we have experience in SARS, and also we have a riot in 2007, Saffron Revolution. That those kind of activities we had it, so we face this and sanctions, and a lot of tourism skill employee and tourism skillful executive and the HR, they move out to the other sectors and they migrate to the other overseas as well. So after 2010, 2011, we trained a lot of our skill labor and skilled employee and skilled human resource. So we don't want to face this again. That's why the soft law, all of our tourism sectors, the owner and the owner and tourism stakeholders, we want to maintain our skill HR as much as we can. So that the loan for the soft loans, we expect to provide the we expect the loan to provide that our experienced and well-trained employee, not to cover the 100%, at least some percent of their salary. We want to provide it, but the amount we got this soft loan is quite few. So now we are very in this critical situations. Some company even bear even 1 month for their all employee salary. That's a big difficulties now we are facing. And so I want you to know this kind of issue that our tourism industry are facing, and that there is opportunities, of course, because we all have to start from the new way again, and which mean a lot of companies, opportunities will come again for us. And I'm sure the SME with the alternative idea,
Running out of
for
time.
the safety,
Yes, we're running out of time. We'd have 5 other speakers. I'm
okay.
so
sorry. So let me conclude. So working with India, we got a very quick action and friendly environment from the India Embassy in Myanmar. They're very friendly and they are very openly and very helpful. That we would like really appreciate it. So please keep this friendly environment more, and please make a meeting arrangement sometimes with the travel agents who are selling to India. That's my request. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Menyo. We have our next speaker, Meizo Wu. She's a seasoned professional and leader. She's one of the executive committee members of Myanmar Women Entrepreneurs Association. She's a board member of a company called Amethyst Co Limited, which is a pharmaceutical trading company. Meizo, let's hear from you.
Yes. Good afternoon, His Excellencies, the Presidents, the speakers, and all the participants. And this is Meizo from Amethyst Company Limited, and I'm also one of the member of MWEA and one of the member of Myanmar Pharmaceuticals and Medical Equipment Entrepreneurs Association. Actually, our Amethyst company has dealt with 50 suppliers from India already since 2008. Then we also already registered Indian products more than 200, and we imported for around about 180 products already. And let me briefly about the pharmaceutical business in Myanmar. We estimate 650 million US dollars pharmaceutical market in Myanmar, and then 60 to 65% of market shares occupied by Indian pharma market. Then we trust it may be growing up more as the market stay open up and the local manufacturing is very less and have some barriers are there to be replace the import products. And then the FDA also just only accept like as the WHO GMP approved and the PICS approval factories. That's also increasing in the Indian market, and then the Myanmar FDA also will follow only the PICS approval in future. And then there has one more opportunities to invest in Myanmar is that Myanmar is stay open up and exempt for the patent law till to 2020. So we also stay chance to be with it. The foreign investment also welcome in Myanmar for the local manufacturing, and then the government also helping to invest for the foreign. One more, the products range of the pharmaceuticals are also very wide from India, and the price is very competitive rather than like as the EU countries. But we also have to take care about the quality assurance. Earlier, Ms. Mani also already mentioned about the Indian pharma market is very increasing, and then the price is competitive, and then we cannot afford as per the income level for the highly initiated products. And we also would like to pick like as the additional capabilities in the area of the drug registrations, and we need technicians supports to develop the local manufacturing. And then we also request to the government to support like the implementations of regulatories, and then the update trends of the new molecules. And then we also have to protect for the black market, and then the check and qualifying products. Some are also coming from like as the border trade area. That is why we also have to check only like as the official trading, and then we have to approach to the import department, and like as the we also have to deal with the Ministry of Commerce to import the products. As we have to rely only the import products, especially in the healthcare sectors, we also have to unique of the regulatory policies and trade custom clearance. And then we also wish the Indian Pharma Association to meet up with the regulatory body to develop the pharma registration process, and then it also taking long times, more than 2 years.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wu.
Thank you
now
so much.
request Cindy, if you've resolved your issue, to be back. Is Cindy back?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes.
All right, I changed to mobile. All right, okay, thank you.
Yeah, we are running late, so kindly keep your speech short.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right. Apologies, I think because I'm going to speak on behalf of ICT industry, I had some technical problems with the microphone. But nevertheless, good afternoon, namaste, minglaba to all my fellow women entrepreneurs and excellencies and distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to give you the ICT landscape of Myanmar as the Joint Secretary General of Myanmar Computer Federation. We started, I was introduced, my father founded the first startup in Myanmar to train the first IT training courses back in 1986. That's how it all started. In 1996, the government started to take notice of the ICT industry development and promulgated the Myanmar Computer Science Development Law. So we've been in this, the Myanmar ICT industry in all has been in existence for about 30 years. But the recent increase in demand and the vibrancy of the industry happened back in 2013 when we start to liberalize the telecommunication sectors. So that is, and with that, in the increase in the internet and the bandwidth and connectivity, our sectors have started to grow very rapidly throughout these past few years. Now, in terms of the challenges, the COVID-19 challenges are very apparent for all the industry, including the ICT industry. We have seen many drop in retail selling, software and services part, BPO challenges, particularly for call centers with social distancing rules, and skill training sector, which is currently under 100% closure because of the restrictions that we have. But with COVID-19 brings a lot of opportunities for our ICT industry, because COVID-19 created this need to connect each other digitally. So we leap into the second digital leap of Myanmar, I would call it that way. Now we can Zoom it anywhere. At first we were a Facebook nation, and now we can Zoom it and Zoom from anywhere. So those are a start for the main public and main majority of the sector. So in a way, we have kind of like have a lot of increased activities in terms of e-commerce and social commerce, and we are slowly leaping into the fourth industrial revolution. One of the opportunities that's exciting in Myanmar right now until the end of the year 2020 is the COVID economic relief plan, where the goal number 5 is all about innovation. And one of the speakers talked about the opportunity of Fintech. No doubt about it, under 5.1.1, where we'll be liberalizing more mobile payments platforms. 5.1.2 talk about various e-commerce platforms. And so logistics, e-commerce, social commerce, and mobile payments and Fintech companies are in a very good standing from the government, as well as a huge opportunity. But then again, being in this forum with FLO and MWEA, I would like to talk more about the collaboration which our ICT industry can have with India. I personally have been to India about 4 to 5 times, and that was when I was doing a BPO project for Telenor, which is Uninor in India. And one of the collaboration that I see as India being our neighbor and the world's IT superpower is the co-learning experiences and being part of the supply chain and the value chain of the current India's BPO BPM service industry. So what happened is that I came to India in 2013. I went to Lucknow to learn about Uninor's backend operation to undertake the operations replicated back in Myanmar, and it has proven to be very well. And I think the president flows talk about the TVET and vocational institutions. I have been to Delhi many times to explore about such opportunities. So I see that as a very good collaboration. First is the export to be part of India's supply chain towards the global supply chain for export of IT services. And that's very important. And the second thing I see is that I think we talk about edtech startup, and I see the online learning opportunities and collaboration, because COVID-19 has given us a lot of time to do that, particularly to strengthen the capacity of women entrepreneurs to be digitally equipped and digitally ready so that we do not leave anyone behind. I think India is a great example for us to follow and to learn. So these are a very good platform. And of course, smart agricultural practices. I've been reading a lot of India's new startups based on 4IR technologies, such as AI and machine learning and etc. And it's very interesting. So these are areas that we can also replicate back in Myanmar so that we could do collaborations much better, because India is doing very well in those sectors. Last but not least, because I'm talking about the ICT industry, so it's very important that Myanmar, as being the national consultant of ITC for IT services, I think we can create more jobs for women by women entrepreneurs to being part of the IT BPM supply chain from India. And MWA just launched our business network, MWA BNet. It's a Facebook page, very recently launched, and I can have to echo back to the ambassador's excellencies talking about greater business interaction, because that was what our president had in mind when we started a digital platform to have a greater business interaction among our members and then a B2B interaction. So with that note, I believe that there's a lot of opportunities for ICT industry in terms of skilling, startups, fintech, and whatever tech that's for YR ready. We are ready to collaborate on behalf of the industry. And with MWA, we would like to continue on the previous speaker comment about B2B collaboration with our MWA BNet, which is currently a Facebook page, but we're going to expand it to more wider digital platforms. And with that, thank you very much, and looking forward to the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. That was really good. We have now Tetsu Zinwen, who works in the garment industry. She joined her parents' family garment industry after doing a master's in Thailand. Tetsu Zinwen, can you please speak and be brief? We are running really short of time.
Sure, so I'll give you a brief information about the garment industry. So good afternoon, His Excellency and the distinguished guests. Namaste, Mingalapa. So from the garment industry, we were ever since 2013, when the European Union sanction was lifted, our industry has been booming. So in 2007, there were only like 154 factories in Myanmar, but now in 2020, there are over 700 factories in Myanmar. We are all most of the factories are owned by China. 1/3 of the factories are owned by China, and the rest from Korea, JV factories, Japan, Singapore, and UK. So in NGMA, Myanmar Garment Manufacturers Association, we have over 700 members. And in our industry, we employ over 500,000 workers. More than 80% are women workers. In 2019, we exported for 4.5 billion US dollar value, and we are forecasting 5.5 billion USD in 2020. But due to COVID, I don't think this number will be possible. And for the garment industry in Myanmar, we are only focusing on CMP, which is cut, make, and pack. So there are a lot of opportunities to do FOB, which we are not local entrepreneurs are not able to do it as yet. So I think from that aspect, India have a lot of opportunities to do it, because Indian are more experienced in this garment industry. And also for the opportunities to set up the garment industry in Myanmar, we are having the tax-free from like many countries, EU, UK, Japan, Canada, and so on. And then we also have a geographic proximity to all the major garment powerhouses, which is China, Bangladesh, and Vietnam. And for and also there are like a lot of industrial zones growing in Myanmar, like in different areas of Myanmar. And also before, we used to make focus only on the clothing wares, which are like jackets and pants. But now in our garment industry, there are also a lot of factories opening up with the specialized and technical, which needs a lot of specialized and technical supports like footwear, bags, and performance outerwear. For the challenges in Myanmar, our productivity is pretty low compared to Vietnam and China. So sometimes the efficiency is not very good, and we don't have like a lot of skilled workers, and we are lacking some middle management is lack of knowledge, and also we don't have the the supply chain for the industry. So we have to rely on other countries like China, India, Thailand for the raw materials. So from that, with the business opportunities to India, because India cotton is very famous across the world. So you can now here, like there are some local fabric sellers buying the fabric from India, but India also has the opportunity to supply us for the export, so which you can sell like higher volume. And you can also, because we don't have any supply chain in Myanmar, so there's also a possibility to set up the fabric mills in Myanmar, so that we can have a complete supply chain in Myanmar. And due to COVID-19, there are like quite a lot of chaos in our industry. So up to now, there are 18 factories have temporarily closed, like over 30 factories has closed completely. And there are over 35,000 workers who've been laid off because there is no business. So in the meantime, our industry is a bit slow because of the COVID-19, because all the brands, they have to close down their shops they don't know when they can open back. So the order has been canceled. Some orders has been like reduced. So we are also facing lack of order supply in the meantime, but we hope this will get back to normal in a few months. So I think from the last but not least, India has a lot of like technological experience. So because all the technicians and the experts coming here to give us advice in our industry, most of them are from India. So you can also be part of that to collaborate with our industry. Thank
you so much. Thank you so much. Now I would request Ms. Kinley, the President of Myanmar Women's Entrepreneurs Association, to give her remarks. Ms. Kinley.
Good evening, all. My name is Kinley, President of MWEA and also CEC member of the UNFCCI. First of all, special thanks to His Excellency Mr. Suresh Kumar, Ambassador of India to Myanmar, who encouraged to happen this event. And then I really appreciate Mr. Chanet B and Mr. Sita as speaker and also India and our Myanmar participant. And at this event, we got a lot of the information from both countries speakers, not only from India, but also from Myanmar. We knew indeed information of their challenges, opportunity and potential, and also share information to do business in both countries. I believe that all the audience also got those valuable information from this event for future business expansion. We still hope to have strong collaboration with India Embassy of Myanmar as before. On behalf of MWEA, I hope the future strong collaboration partnership with India Women Association, IMCC, and thank you. And also thank you again, Mr. Kumar, Ambassador of India. Thank you of all. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you so much. I would request our President Flo, Mrs. Janvi Pukan, to felicitate our speakers.
Great. Thank you very much. And it's been a wonderful session. And I hope that our two countries will be able to do a lot of work together for our women entrepreneurs. I would like to felicitate our speakers today with a virtual memento. We start with Mr. Sunil Seth, President of India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Kidley, President MWEA, and Ms. Kin Ketmore, General Secretary MWEA. Our virtual mementos, please, IT. Come on. Now for the next panel, we have selected members from MWEA and FLO who shared the industry-specific inputs. Our small felicitation from FLO, again with the virtual mementos for each one of you. From India, we have Usha Rani Manne, Chairperson FLO, Hyderabad. Dr. Aarti Gupta, Chairperson FLO, Kanpur. Seema Singh, FLO, Bangalore member. And from Myanmar, we have Cindy Cho Kinkin, MD, MCC. Ms. Ketsu Zin Win, the Director, Maple Trading. Ms. Mei Zo Wu, Director, Amethyst Pharmaceutical. And Ms. Mei Nyo, MD, New Danha Company. The virtual mementos. Right. Now my special thanks to Dr. Sital Kumar Palbabu for his support and Ms. Brishti Mukherjee from India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, who has been a great support in organizing this event for all of us. Thank you very much.
Now I would request Mrs. Ujjwala Singhania, the Senior Vice President of FLO, to propose her vote of thanks. Oh, sorry, that was Bristol's. Mrs. Singhania is the Director of JK International, a firm that invests through private equity and venture capital in the media, entertainment, information, and technology and healthcare spaces. She is the Senior Vice President of FLO, and she's going to propose the vote of thanks.
Namaste. I'm delighted to conclude and propose the vote of thanks to the wonderful interaction we had this afternoon. Today's session ushered a new dimension to the India Myanmar trade exchanges by establishing a strategic link for business exchanges between the women entrepreneurs of both the countries. Sincere thanks to HE Mr. Saurabh Kumar, IFS Ambassador of India, to Myanmar for giving us your valuable time and addressing us. I would like to thank Mr. Sunil Sheth, President of India Myanmar Chambers of Commerce, for sharing his valuable inputs. Sincere gratitude to Ms. Keen Lay, President, MWEA, and Ms. Keen Tex Mao, General Secretary, MWEA, for joining forces with FLO to create opportunities for partnership between India and Myanmar women. I thank the members of FLO and MWEA who shared the industry-specific inputs. From India, Usha Rani Mane, Dr. Aarti Gupta, and Seema Singh. From Myanmar, Sydney Chaw Kin, Chetsu Zin Win, Mei Zo Mayo. Special thanks to Dr. Sheetal Kumar Palbabu for his support. Brishti Mukherjee from India Myanmar Chambers of Commerce, who have been great support in organizing this event. My sincere thanks to past president and governing body members for joining us. Thank you, Dharati Patnaik, Chapter Chair Bhubaneswar, for put together this wonderful session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Excellent show. Your Excellency, thank you for being with us and so patiently sitting through the extra time that we took today. Apologies.